Hey y'all, it's Diane with Y'all Craft One in my old barn door, and I have a really huge kit for you guys today. I had talked to Mom. I call Gayle Agostinelli Mom because a couple years ago she and we just kind of developed this wonderful relationship, and we kind of jokingly said we're just going to adopt each other, and so that is where that came from. And so we just kind of adopted each other as mom and daughter, and she is just one of the most wonderful people that I have met here on YouTube. I've met a lot of wonderful people, but she just truly holds a really special place in my heart. And so with Mother's Day coming up and my mom being gone, I decided that I wanted to try to do something to honor the moms in my life, the living and the ones who have gone on to heaven. And so I had talked to her and asked her if it would be okay if I did this, and she was a little embarrassed because she's just so humble and so sweet. But I told her I would do my best not to embarrass her. I would be good. So I wanted to, I was trying to figure out, at first I thought about doing like all of her favorite things, but then I don't really have all of that, and so I wanted to do something more that was inspired by her. So these are the things that she has inspired me to do, and she's one of the very first people that I started watching on YouTube, and again we just really developed a wonderful bond, and that bond will never go away. She is just really truly special. And so without going on and on, sorry Mom, not gonna embarrass you. I decided to do a ring binder kit because even to this day I will go back and watch her videos of her ring binders to inspire me when I am creating the ring binders that I do. Sorry about that, the grandbaby ran in. So anyways, I still to this day I'll go back and look at her videos when I'm looking for some inspiration on my ring binder journals. So I think this is probably the biggest kit I've ever made. And you guys are absolutely gonna love it, and I think Mom's gonna love it too. So you can see it is stuffed full. So without further ado, we're gonna dive in and look at all the wonderful goodies. Okay, so the kit is going to come according to how you're where you are as far as shipping goes. It will either come in a big bag, you know, one of my big pretty bags, or it will come in a priority box according to how the shipping rings up for me. The kit is close to 6 pounds, so just to let you guys know, it is big and it's heavy. So the kit's going to come tied in a pretty little, it's either going to have a ribbon or a piece of lace or some kind of pretty something with a bow, and then it'll have a little, I don't know if you can see that, but it'll have a little bulb pin with a little charm or a bead or a dangle or something on it just to decorate it. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up, if I can get it out. And we will dig in and see what's in the kit. You guys, I have spent 2 days solid stuffing this kit full of all kinds of goodness. So y'all are going to absolutely love this. So I'm going to slide it to the side, and then we'll just start with what's in the bag. Now you get this wonderful, this is a, I believe this is an 8 by 10. It's 8 1/4 by 11. So 8 by 11 bag, and it is absolutely cram packed. So the first, I'm just going to pull everything that's in here out, and then I'll put it all together after I do the video. Well, actually, after I do the video and take the pictures, because, well, you know. Alright, so in this first little bag is, I'm calling this the snippet bag, because it's a bunch of snippets. Let me just slide this over, because I'm going to pull these out. So basically, you're going to get a bunch of little snippet pieces. And then I put you some pieces of ribbons, my vintage ribbons, for you to be able to make tabs in your journal. So I love using these to make tabs because I like all of the different textures of them. So I believe, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You get 9. So you'll have enough to make 9 tabs. Also in the little bag, you're going to get a couple of my clusters. These are kind of the shabby looking little clusters. And then you're going to get all different kinds of snippets of ribbons, eyelash trims, fibers, and you're going to get all different kinds in here. So hopefully I'm showing them okay. I don't want the video to take forever, or be forever long, but this one's really, really pretty. I don't know if you can see the color on video, but it's like a really, really deep purple, just gorgeous. And then you'll get some of this one. I love it with the sparkles in it. Come on, camera. Why are we not focusing? There we go. So it's got the sparkles and it's got like rainbow different colors intertwined in it. And then you'll get some of this one. Oh, my camera's doing funky stuff again. And then you're going to get, I put some of Cricket's little snippets because she is a mom. This kit's in honor of Mother's Day, and she was a mom figure in my life as well. And so I wanted to add a few pieces of her stuff in here. So you're going to get some just snippets to make, clusters, collages. You guys know you can do whatever you want to do with them. And then I added just a few little snippets of some fabric that my sweet friend sent me. So I added a few little snippets of fabric in as well, so that you can play and you can make collages or clusters or whatever you want to do with them. But it's just some extra little goodies for you to be able to play with and make some wonderful stuff for yourself. So you get all of that in this little bag, and you get a bag. So I do have some napkins in the kit for you to be able to decoupage on your bags, because I've put you a couple excuse me, a couple of little bags. And you have envelopes too, so you can use those napkins to decoupage on your envelopes and your bags and have fun. So that's in that little bag. Let me get all of this eyelash trim out of the way so that we don't have a mess. And then I made this little pack of goodies. It's like a little ephemera pack, sort of. It's just got all kinds of little game pieces. You've got some stamps in here you can use for making your collages. It's got some old, here, I'm just going to pour it out. I probably should have a tray to pour it into, but that's okay. You're going to get a little pack of seam binding, not seam binding, bias tape. And I'll show you why in just a minute. Because you can do some really cute stuff with the bias tape. You can put it on the edges of your papers, and there will be, each pack will have a different color of bias tape. They're not all the same. But you get dominoes, you get all kinds of goodies, and then you're going to get, I think there's 5 of the little yo-yo flowers in this little bag. Hopefully my focus is working correctly. I don't want to have to redo the video. So anyway, and these are just little pieces that you can put on tassels. You can put in collages. So there's dominoes. There's little Monopoly money pieces. There's bingo, the old vintage bingo pieces. There's the wooden ones, and then there's the little plastic ones. You're going to get a couple of little wooden hearts that say love. that my friend sent to me. So I'm going to share them with you guys because she sent me a whole lot of them. Then you're going to get some vintage bingo pieces that are like these little clear see-through pieces. Super cool. I love adding those to tassels. You're going to get a dice. This is kind of like a little game pack because when I was putting this kit together, I was thinking of family. You know, think of Mom. She's the matriarch of the family. And so, you know, moms play games and teach us how to play games and teach us how to survive. So you got a little button there, some stamps, some a large chunky old piece of jewelry, and then these are little snippets of tape. They're not washi tape. They're actually tape. And each one will have a different design on it in each pack. But my friend Sarah sent me a whole bunch of these. And I use them all the time because you guys know I don't like the blank white pages. And so I'll use, you know, these little tapes to decorate the blank white pages. I'll either put a piece down the side or one at the top or bottom or both. So anyway, this is just a little pack of goodies that you have that you can play with and make all kinds of things. I know people love making the little dominoes, you know, the little decorated dominoes, and I had a bunch of dominoes, so I thought I would share. So that comes in this pack. Okay, so I'm going to try and close this up so we don't lose anything out of it. So this is packed pretty full. You get a lot of goodness in that little pack. So the next little pack we'll go through is going to be this pack, and I'm telling you guys, excuse me, I shared all of my vintage goodies with you guys. I wanted this to be a really vintage little pack, and so you're getting some really cool vintage items in this pack. So I'm just going to slide it all out of the bag. So you get this wonderful little glassine bag that you can use your napkins to decoupage on or decorate however you want to. And it is absolutely stuffed full. Like, I had to make myself stop putting stuff in because I just ran out of room. So inside you're going to get this cute little tiny glassine bag, and it's just filled with tickets. Most of them are vintage. I think the only ones that aren't vintage are these here in the back, which I usually put in all of my kits. But you're going to get, here, I'm just going to pull them out. So you're going to get one of these vintage B&W. It's like a cigarette coupon type thing. I got these from Selena, and I was going to put them in my spring kit, but they didn't get here in time, so I've added them to this one. Then you're going to get one of the Ice Company coupons. Then you're going to get, this is a B&W Raleigh. I think this is a cigarette coupon as well. So it's front and back. And then you're going to get one of these British bus tickets. They come in different colors, so yours may not be the exact same color. Then you're going to get another one of the ice coupons. So each kit has 2 of the ice coupons. They're different colors. Then you're going to get 3 of the little claim checks. These are vintage claim checks. Then you're just going to get some regular red, green, and blue tickets, and then some of the white tickets. So I just made a cute little combination of tickets to go into this little bag. So I'm just going to sit this to the side, and I'll put it back together after I do the video so that you guys don't have to watch me do. Actually, I might pause and do it real quick so I don't lose any of them. Okay, so we got that back together, so I'll sit that to the side. And then again, this little packet is stuffed with mostly vintage stuff. Some of it's newer, but most of it is vintage. So you're going to get, this is of course newer, you're going to get one of these very large jumbo paper clips. They are about 4 inches long. So you get one of those. You're going to get a couple of the Tim Holtz people, because Mom, like I say, everything that I put in here, mostly, for the majority of it, I saw Mom do it first. And she just has inspired me a lot. And so I just kind of wanted to do something to honor her. So I never saw Tim Holtz until I started watching her. I'm sorry, the grandbaby keeps coming in. So anyways, so I put just a few pieces of the Tim Holtz stuff that I had here. just to share it with you guys. So you just get some little pieces. You can make clusters or tags, or gosh, you can do anything with those. And then each kit will have one of these little flowers. I had quite a few of these little flowers, so I added one to each kit. And then I always saw Mom using the you know, the little playing cards, and I absolutely am addicted to these playing cards. So you're gonna, each kit's gonna get several of the little playing cards. And then these are it's called the Real Mother Goose card game, and I love them. They're very vintage, and they remind me of Mom making the little golden books, because she's the one that got me started making the little golden books. So I put one of those in there, and then of course a vintage flash card. And then I'm gonna slide these over. You're gonna get, I wanted ephemera that you could use throughout your whole ring binder journal. Hang on, guys. Sorry, the grandbaby was yelling. So anyways, I wanted a variety of different things, because I didn't want it to be like one specific theme. I didn't want it to be a cooking theme or a flower theme or a country theme or whatever. I wanted it to be a mix of all, so that you can pick and choose what you want to put in your ring binder journal. So I got these from my friend Johnny over at Junk Journal Shop, and I got them on her live sale last weekend, and so I wanted to share some with y'all. So you get one of these little sweet handwritten, very vintage recipe cards. I love, love, love how vintage they are. Just precious. So you can get one of those. Here's a few more of the little playing cards just to play around with. You're going to get an inventory tag, one of these phone call receipt books, one of these little vintage phone call little receipt things. You're going to get one of these pink guest checks that are not the thicker, like this one's the thicker one, and then this one is the thinner one. I love using the thin ones. So you're going to get 2 of those. You get one of the phone message pieces. You're going to get a little it's a piece of a book is what it is. And then this is just kind of some funny quotes that I added in there. Then you're going to get one of these Better Homes and Gardens library cards, or it's a recipe card library. So you're going to get one of those. I'm trying to keep these in order as much as possible, but I don't guess it's going to really matter. So you get one of those. You're going to get a vintage bingo card. Then you're going to get 2 of these. These are little photo sleeves. I love using these in my ring binders, because you can put anything you want in them. You can use them as a pocket. You can take this out. You can use them for pictures. They're very versatile. So I put 2 of those in each little pack. Then you're going to get some of these vintage Yahtzee playing scorecards. These are from the 70s. The colored ones are. And then these are from copyright 1956. So I love putting these in my ring binder journals, because you can journal on those, or you can tear them up and do whatever you want to do with them. Then you're each going to get a little section that from a little recipe box that I found that had, you know, the little tabs, and then it had several little index cards behind the tabs. So each package has a section from that little recipe box. And then I had some little vintage steno notepads, and so you're going to get a couple of pages of that. And I don't know if you can see in the camera very well, but it's yellowed and it looks real vintage. Then you're going to get one of these very vintage little index cards that came out of a very old recipe box. It was one of those little gray metal recipe boxes. It didn't have any index cards in it, but it did have a whole bunch of these. So I put one in each kit. Then you're going to get some lined index cards, and then just some regular color index cards, just to add some little color in there. You're going to get a little vintage, this is like a real papery vintage bingo card. You're going to get one of these Gold Rush or Gold Bond book pages. It came out of one of those Gold Bond books that I got from Mom. You're going to get a bridge playing scorecard. This is another little game scorecard, and it's in a different language on the other side, which I think is super cool. Not sure what language it is, but then you're going to get one of these green stamp cards, and they're filled with the green stamps on both sides. You're going to get some of these little labels. I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not. I'm going to try and turn them sideways and get it as close as I can. But you can actually tear these apart. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 on each one. So you'll get some of those. These were vintage. I found them in a thrift store. You get some of these vintage labels. I found these in a thrift store as well. And I think there's 5 on each one of these too. I remember using these years and years ago when I first started working in an office. And then you're going to get a couple of just plain index cards with no lines, and these are a larger size. Let's see, they are, I believe these are 4 by 6. So these are really cool. I like to coffee dime, or you can spray inks on them, or you can stencil on them and then put some fabric on them, put a little topper. So I love making tags out of those. Then you're going to get some pieces from one of, you're going to get 3 little pieces from my calendar quilt block stack that I had. So you get 3 pieces of those. You guys, it was really, really hard for me to do this. This is out of that railroad book that I bought from Selena. And so I tore a page out for each kit. So you're going to get, these are super vintage. They're from the early 1900s. Let me see. This, it doesn't have a date on it, but I believe it was from like 1910 or 1912, something like that. So each kit will have a sheet of that. This is a really large vintage index card that I found in a thrift store. It is 8 by 5, so it's really cool. You can do lots of things with this. You can even fold it up and make it a page in a journal if you want to. So you get one of those. These next pieces were from a really, really old cookbook that I found. It was a ring binder cookbook at one of my thrift stores, and they have a little box out front of things that they're going to throw away at the end of the day if you don't take them. And so there was this little ring binder cookbook in there, and I grabbed it, and when I opened it up, it had these cool little recipe cards in it, and then it had pages where the little lady had taken, you know, she had cut out her little magazine recipes and taped them on or glued them on to the page. Look how yellow. I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but super yellow on the back side. And then you get in the back of that little book, there was, you know, these plain lined, very yellowed pages that were still unused in the recipe book. So you're going to get a set of those in each pack. And then you're going to get some of these lined memo pad sheets in each pack. Each pack has the same amount and the same kind in each one. I just love sharing these. And then you have this. I found this in a thrift store too. It was from a vintage daytimer. I don't know if you guys remember the daytimers, but yeah. And then you have this really, really beautiful. I found this in a thrift store too in a little package. Super pretty. These are some of my favorite flowers. And look at this gorgeous envelope that comes with it. So you get that all in this little pack. So there is a whole lot of vintage goodies in this little pack. So I'm going to pause the video, put this all back together real quick so I don't have to take up the space on my video. Okay, so I've got that one put back together. And then the next item you get, excuse me, you're going to get a little stack of fabrics, and I think there's a little bit of lace in here too. But I wanted you to have something fun to play with and make pockets with, or fabric flips, or whatever you want to, you know, use them for. So you're going to get a little stack of fabrics, and these for the most part are vintage. I think there's one piece in here that's new. So it's going to be tied up with this vintage seam binding, not seam binding, bias tape. I keep saying seam binding, it's bias tape. So you're going to get put a couple of pieces of the chenille, because I wanted to share some chenille with you. Say that 3 times fast. Share some chenille. So you get a couple pieces of that, and then you're going to get a piece of this pretty fabric. Okay, this one's a newer fabric too, so maybe there's 2 pieces of new fabric. So you get a piece of that. This is a vintage tablecloth, and I absolutely love, love, love this pattern. Very, very pretty. So you get a piece of that. This is one of the other new ones, and it's like a botanical, but how pretty is that? Isn't that a gorgeous little piece of fabric? And I'm totally into the botanicals lately, so I wanted to add a piece of that into each kit as well. This is a vintage sheet, and I was so excited when I found this at one of the little thrift stores that I go to, but look how pretty the pattern is on that. Isn't that gorgeous? So you get a pretty good little size piece of that in there. And then this is another vintage sheet, and this reminds me so much of my grandmother's house because she had sheets like this on her bed, and I always thought they were so pretty with the little roses on there and the polka dots. So you get a good size little piece of that one. This is another one of the vintage sheets I found in that same thrift store. Love, love, love the purples in there, and it has like a really light lavender stripe. It's so light that it almost looks gray, but super pretty with the purple flowers. So you get a good little piece of that. Then you're going to get one of these strips from the jelly roll that one of my friends sent me. She was so kind to share it with me, and so I thought I would give you guys a piece too, because I love these coffee dye really well, and you can stamp on them and make you little stamp patches and things like that. So I shared a piece of that with you. This is from a vintage bedspread. Isn't that pretty? So, so pretty. I love the pattern in that. So you get a good size little piece of that. Then you're going to get a little piece of lace. Most of the kits have one piece of lace, but this one has two because this piece was a little bit smaller than the rest. Then you're going to get some of these Moto squares. I think they're called Moto squares. But I had some really cute fabrics in these, and I thought they'd be great for a Mother's Day type journal, or, you know, just super cute fun colors in there. So you get a few of those. And then this was an old vintage tablecloth that I found at one of my thrift stores as well. And so you're just going to get a snippet piece of it. Super pretty little flowers on there. Would make a great fabric flip or a pocket. So you're going to get a piece of that as well. So that is your fabric pack. Now you guys, I have not counted the pieces that are in these packs, so I'm not really even sure how many pieces are in here. I do know that everything that I have in here is absolutely stuffed. Like, you can't fit anything else in these little bags. So you get a lot of goodness in this little kit to make you a ring binder journal. So that is what comes in the big bag. So you get all of this in the big bag. So I'm going to sit this to the side, and then I'm going to scoot over the little ring binder here. So each ring binder will be different. They're not all the same. I have 10 different ones. I have 10 packs of these. And then if you open it up, you're going to get one of these inside. You'll get one of these little, it's like a very vintage recipe books. I found a bunch of little pamphlet books. Like this one's from 1955. I love the little illustration in there. But I love the colors and things that they use. I love the typesetting that they use, and it's a super yellowed little book. So you get one of these, and then my friend Kathy sent me a bunch of these little books, and I had a whole bunch of them. And so I thought I'd be kind and share, because they are just super cute little illustrations in them. This one's copyright 1959. And I just absolutely love the illustrations. They remind me of the old school readers or the vintage Dick and Jane books. I love the typing in them, and I love the pictures in them. So each kit will have one of those little books in it as well. And then, of course, you'll have the intact ring binder journal. Look at how stinking cute. This one, it looks like one of the pages came out of the index, but it is still in there. Oh, and look. Alright, you get a little bonus with this one. So this is super cool, a little houseplants book that's taped to the back inside cover of the journal. Let me see if there's a copyright date on this one. I don't see one. It probably would not have a copyright date on a little book that small. So anyways, You get your ring binder, your 2 little pamphlet books, and then you get this big, huge pack of Lovely. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull this out, and we'll go through it real quickly because we are at 30 minutes. So I will try to hurry so that the video doesn't go forever long. Okay, so in this little pack is your papers and things like that, but there's also some ephemera. So I love putting greeting cards in my ring binder journals, and so you get the card and the envelope, which you can decorate, because I usually put a lot of envelopes in my ring binder journals. So you're going to get 3 of these greeting cards. Some of them are vintage and some are not, but look how pretty those are, aren't they? And look at that envelope, just gorgeous. And of course, you know, they won't all be the same. There'll be different ones in each little kit, but basically, you know, they'll be real florally, or some have birds on them, some have butterflies, things like that. Then here's your 2 napkins. Now, every kit has one of these napkins for your decoupaging, and then you're going to get just a random napkin. I didn't have enough to give all the kits the same kind, so you'll get different kinds of napkins, but each kit has 2 napkins. So there's your napkins, and then each kit is going to get a vintage doily or a piece of crocheted something. So this one I found in a thrift shop, I think, or maybe somebody sent it to me, I can't remember, but it's so soft and it's just absolutely beautiful. And you can even cut these out and use them as little doilies if you want to. I know Cricket had some in her little snippets that were very, very similar to this that she had cut out. So each pack gets a piece of that. Each pack is going to get one of these packs of stickers. You guys, I have so many stickers that it is not even funny. And these are just from the Dollar Tree, I think. And not all the sticker sets will be the same. They won't all look like this, but you'll get a pack of these little 3D sticker packs. Each kit will have one of these little cards. I won these at Barb's auction last weekend, and so I thought I would share them. It's got the little butterfly cutout or die cut in the center. I don't know if you can see it, but each one gets one of those. You get a coffee dyed, just a long coffee dyed envelopes that you can decorate with decoupage or clusters or, you know, collage or whatever. Each pack will have a sewing pattern. Some of them have the dates on them and some of them don't. This one's from 1971, but they have the little patterns in them. Some have the paper, some have the tissue, some have both. So each pack gets that. Each pack is going to get a vintage doily. I found these at one of my thrift shops, and they're so, so pretty. I don't know if you can see the embossing on it, but these are really, really pretty. So each pack gets a small one, and then each pack gets a large pink heart doily. And then you're just going to have some random little papers that I added to it because I like different size papers in my ring binder journals. So this one actually came out of, it's like a military field guide. Here's what it is. I found this at a thrift store, and I love the color of the paper. Of course, I love the green. So each pack gets a piece of that, and then you'll get some type of a quote piece. It's got quotes on it from different people. This one's a white one with a quote on it. And then this was like a little invitation that my best friend, she had bought invitations for her daughter's baby shower, and she had these left over, and so she sent them to me. She said, I thought you might could use them. So you get the big envelope with it, and then you get these are cool little label style things. So you can make a pocket with this, or you can make it its own separate page or whatever, but I think they're super, super cute. So I added one of each of those. Each kit gets a pink piece because you know I love pink. And then that's all the kind of the knick-knacky stuff or the papery stuff. Each kit will get a piece of this wallpaper that one of my friends sent to me. Super, super cool little wallpaper from Ward's. Very, very vintage, Not real sure of a date, but this one says it's offered for 1941, so I don't know if it was, or it's offered again for 1941, so I'm assuming it's from the 40s, 30s, and 40s. So each kit will get a piece of that, and then you get a piece of my other wallpaper. It may not be this same one. Each one has different ones, but I wanted to add some wallpaper in there for you. You get a calendar, a big calendar page. I love using these for either pages in my journals, and even though they're written on, I think that's super cool that, you know, they're written on, because you have a little piece of someone's life and you wonder, who is Kim, and, you know, what did she have to do at 2:30? So you can either use these as pages, or sometimes I'll make envelopes out of them. So you get a piece of that. These are super, super cool, you guys. I found, I got this book that was like a photo album book, and each one has this really cool cover on it, I guess to protect the photo, but then you can open it up at the top and you slide a photo down in there. So each kit has one of these, or I guess you can slide it in here too, but each kit will have one of these photo pages in it. And then each kit will have just a couple of pieces of random little cardstock or stationery, mostly stationery. All right, and then here's your book pages. So each kit gets one of my Henry Terry book pages, the really pretty botanical book pages. And then you're going to have all kinds of vintage children's book pages. This one's super, super old. I love it. This book is absolutely beautiful, and if I can find another one, I'm going to buy it, but just really, really pretty images on it. This one is from the 1800s, and it took a lot for me to rip this book up, because it is just an absolutely beautiful book with children's music in it. I love the images in it. I believe, what was her name? Kate. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Kate something. These pages, either she did these pages or someone who does work very close to her did these pages. So you get one of those. This is from a children's primer from the early 1900s. I believe it was 1908, but I'm not positive. Something to that effect. So you'll get a couple of pages of that. Then you'll get a page from a vintage children's reader. Actually, you get a couple of pages. They're different children's readers, but I think this one was from the 50s and this one's from maybe the 70s. This is called, it was called the Ding Dong Bell School Book. Super, super old. I paid a good little bit of money for this, but it has beautiful, beautiful pages in it. Then you're going to get some of my Bookhouse pages. This came from a super old, I think it was 1930s, little children's reader. So you get a page of that. Of course, you're going to get a page from my Childcraft book, my favorite one that I love. Then you're going to get, this is from a vintage floral, like a floral encyclopedia. So you get a couple pages of that. You're going to get a couple of pages from a Childcraft book. I believe these are from the 60s or 70s. So you get a few pages of that. You're going to get a couple of pages from a Reminiscence magazine, or actually it was a book. And so it has super cool photos in it from days gone by. So you get a couple pages of that. This is from an Ideals magazine. From the Ideals magazine. This is from a very, very old flower grower magazine. I was trying to find it. Okay, May of 1956. But I love the ads in this little magazine. How stinking cute is she? So each kit gets a page of that. This was a book on women. The great women. I think it was the top 100 women throughout the United States history. So each kit will get a page of that. Each kit is going to get a couple of pages from a quilting book. So you get a color page and then a black and white page with a quilt pattern on it. You're gonna get, this is a little recipe type book, but it also had crafts in it, so your page may not have a recipe on it. It may just have some type of craft on it, but I love it because it's typed, so, you know, we all love the typesetting. Then you're gonna get a page from a sewing book, a couple of pages from a vintage sewing book, and then you're gonna get 3 pages from a 1963, I think this is 1963 Sears catalog. So you're gonna get 3 pages out of that. Aren't these ladies beautiful? I just think they were so pretty back then. So you get 2 black and white pages, and each kit has 1 color page. Look how stinking cute they are. Aren't they adorable? I love the way they dressed back then. And then y'all know me and my schematics. I love schematics pages. So this is from a very vintage, it's like an auto mechanics book. So you're going to get several pages from that. Then you're going to get a couple of pages from an old vintage almanac. I think it was from the 90s, so it's not super vintage. But then you're going to get, of course, some recipe pages. You're going to get several vintage pages from a recipe book, and as you can see, it has someone's someone loved it well. Then you're going to get a vintage music sheet, and then here's some smaller of the recipes that are from a different ring binder journal that I had used previously. And then you'll get one of the little tab pages that you can use. I would collage over this and make myself a little tab, but you'll get one of those. And then, you guys, I love y'all, I love y'all, I love y'all. I shared my German kit that my sweet friend Eve from Switzerland sent me, with all of these super vintage pages that are in German. But this, the very top piece that you're going to see in your kit, and all the kits, I put this one on the very top because this is from my very old, it was from 1898, and it was like a, it has each day of the year, and it has Bible verses in it, so I'm assuming it's like a daily devotional type thing. But from 1898, and it's in German. So I have coveted this book, and so I finally broke it open and shared it with you guys. So very treasured little piece there. And then these are the ones that Eve sent me. Super old little magazine pages. These are from the early 1900s. All of these are. So you're going to get magazine pages, little book pages. This is from a German dictionary. And each kit will have a different type of page in it, but you get the same amount in it. So then this is from a 1960s vintage dictionary that had the little tabs on it. So you each get a page of that. You're each going to get a page of a vintage phone book. I love using these in collage and things. You're each going to get a couple of pages from one of my Helen Steiner Rice books. Each one will get a vintage coloring book page. This was a super big vintage dictionary from the 1950s, I believe. And so I put a couple of pages of those in there. I love these pages. And then, guys, I really love y'all. I love y'all. I am sharing my vintage ledger pages with you guys. So you're going to get one page. I have to fold it in order for it to fit in the kit. But these are from 1903. And these are apothecary ledgers. So each kit will have one page of this in it. I know you're excited. Each kit will also get a vintage newspaper page. This is from 1986, but it's super cool to look back at the ads and the different information that happened just in the 80s. You know, and we don't think of 80s as being vintage, but it actually is, I'm sorry to say. It makes me feel really old. Then you're going to get a couple of pages from a vintage atlas, and I love these pages. It tells the population of each area in each state. and it was from, I believe this atlas was from the 1960s. So super cool to see that. And then these are, I love the color pages. I love using these in collage and stuff because they just add a little something. And I actually love using these as just journal pages. So I would cut this and make it an actual page in my journal. So you get one of those, then you're going to get an actual map from the atlas. So each kit has a map, and then each kit has this super big, this was my calendar that I had from last year, and it was so stinking cute, and I had it hanging in my craft frame, and it was hanging on my wall, and my walls are absolutely stuffed full, so you couldn't ever see it. So I wanted to share it because what I did with one of them is I made a cute little envelope. So you can make a cute little envelope to go into your journal. Now I cut this one down because I messed up on it, but you don't have to cut these down. You should be able to make you a good large size envelope, and they're really good thick sturdy pages, so it makes a really good envelope to store all your good stuff in for your ring binder journal. So that is the kit, you guys. Super, I think, like I say, I think this is probably the largest kit I've ever made, but it's for a good reason. It's for a very precious lady in her honor. I love you real big, Mom, and I'm sending you big old squishy hugs, and I hope that I did well with this. I hope that I didn't embarrass you, because this is not meant to embarrass you. It is meant to honor you. It is meant to honor all of moms for Mother's Day coming up soon. So, and it doesn't have to be a Mother's Day kit, but it is in honor of moms. So, just wanted to show you guys what I have. Again, I have 10 of them available. Once you see this video, they will be in my shop. The price that I list them for today will be the only day that I list that price for. Because there is a lot of things in this kit. There's a lot of vintage items that it took me a long time to gather and to find. And so it should be a very expensive kit, but I'm not going to make it very expensive just for today. So if you want a kit, 10 kits available, run to my shop and grab them. I'm pretty sure they're going to go really fast. And leave any comments or questions that you have below. Everybody show Mom some love. Leave her some comments from Momma Gayle. And yeah, that's it. So once you see this video, I should have the listing created in my shop, so you should be able to run over and get it. Don't forget to like the video, hit subscribe if you want to see more videos, and the little notification bell if you want to be notified when I upload new videos. Thanks for watching, you guys, and I hope you all have a great day. Big hugs.